honorable guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to EcoPeace's annual conference, which has become a tradition where we discuss issues that matter to people of our region and to humanity at large. This year's conference is exceptional in many different ways. It's the first virtual conference we hold since our establishment 26 years ago. Because of the pandemic, the interest and participation of high-level speakers from the international community and our region, and the introduction of EcoPeace's Green-Blue Deal for the Middle East. We believe that year 2020 will be a turning point for decades to come, due to how it's expected to change our world and to what's been revealed about the way we function when facing threats common to us all. The COVID pandemic doesn't belong to the boundaries of a single country. It challenged our habits and norms. It re-emphasized the necessity for cooperation, and hopefully it strengthened the faith in the ability of science and technology to provide us with reliable solutions, especially after the discovery of a vaccine within a very short period of time. The striking similarities between the pandemic and climate change is a wake-up call for all of us on the necessity of action and not giving up on working towards solutions, regardless of the magnitude of the challenges we face. We at EcoPeace Middle East wasted no time. Our Green-Blue Deal for the Middle East builds up on recent international initiatives, including the Green Deal concepts in Europe and the US. It also incorporates earlier studies and research done by EcoPeace, including the Water Energy Nexus pre-feasibility study, the Regional Master Plan for Sustainable Development in the Jordan Valley, our Water Cannot Wait initiative, as well as our report on climate change and national and regional security in Jordan, Israel, and Palestine, among others. The Green-Blue Deal for the Middle East is not meant to propose a holistic policy program to decision makers in the region on all related matters to climate change adaptation and mitigation issues. It rather seeks to inform policy considerations of Israeli, Jordanian, and Palestinian decision makers and the understanding of the international stakeholders as they work to meet the challenges posed by climate change. The report highlights regionally focused, low-hanging fruit, opportunities that can serve as entry points for policymakers seeking to maximize fulfillment of their own country's self-interests, spurring momentum towards governments creating their own holistic green-blue plans and providing opportunities for mutual gain and dialogue on region-wide integrated programs. The report also provides relevant context for the international community to weigh the foreign policy implications of their own varied programs and policy deliberations related to the environment. Before we begin our day, and on behalf of the EcoPeace team, its board and international advisory committee members, I'd like to express our gratitude to all of our speakers, participants, and supporters across the world for joining us today. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the Swedish International Development Corporation Agency, SIDA, and the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, REMENA, for their partnership and generous support. I very much look forward to your contributions and to a dynamic and informative session. EcoPeace's journey has been full of achievements. Swedish support was always vital for our success. I personally had the honor to work with a few amazing Swedish ambassadors to Jordan over the past years. And I very much look forward to working with Her Excellency Alexandra Rydmark for the next 4 years. And now, with honor, allow me to introduce Her Excellency Alexandra to give her opening speech. Your Excellency.
Thank you so much, Yana, for those very welcoming words. And I'm so happy to be here with all of you tonight, even though I would have preferred to meet you all in person to enjoy one of the magical sunsets of the Jordan Valley. But we hope for better times next year. But there's a lot to be excited about tonight and spending the next couple of hours together. And I would like to use my minutes to just point to 3 reasons why this is so exciting. And it's around the what, the hows, and the whos. So first, the what. And I was first framing the content of this conference around the many challenges that we face. And I think nothing is new to you about the scarce shared resources and the frightening loss of biodiversity, and how much environment and climate change is linked to security and conflict as it multiplies the existing stresses and fragilities. But I think even more challenging is perhaps that it's so much easier for us humans to focus on threats and negative events, and so much harder to identify and explore opportunities. And it's what psychologists call the negative bias in our brains that actually influence our behaviors and actions, where we constantly place greater stress on the negatives than the positives. And I think tonight is really about dealing with this bias. It's about promoting new thinking and positive action towards the water-related challenges in the Jordan Valley. And secondly, the hows. And I think the work of EcoPeace that you have been doing, Yana, together with colleagues over decades has really shown us a lot of hows to take the work forward of climate mitigation and climate adaptation and peace building. And these hows are very much at the core of what Sweden is promoting, both at home and in the EU and the UN and in the region. And it's obvious that we need to increase our knowledge and we need to engage much more in joint learning, as we're seeing happening in this conference. At the center is also the cross-border dialogue and cooperation, of course, and you have shown us over and over again, however hard it can be at times, that while competition over water can be a source of conflict, it can also be a source of economic development and shared prosperity, and a platform to build the trust and cooperation. And finally, it's about identifying and exploring the opportunities. And like Professor Konka said yesterday, how do we go away from seeing the issue as just a zero-sum game where more for me means less for you, and instead, how do we enlarge this resource pie to make it a system that brings people together for common problem solving? And I think over these days, we've heard a lot about these opportunities in terms of the large desert areas and the unlimited wind and sunshine. And I think there is also a once in a generation opportunity to build back better now that we're all trying to track a way out of this COVID crisis, and to adopt recovery strategies and take on important reforms on the way to fulfilling the Agenda 2030. And I mean, there are so many interesting and fascinating initiatives of Green Deals being proposed in Europe and in my country, where we are aiming to be the first carbon neutral welfare state in the world through fossil-free Sweden. And then finally, the who's. And I think the work of EcoPeace has over the years really shown us, and this conference is a testament to what a vibrant community there are of actors, and how much we can learn and inspire each other to overcome the negativity bias that I started out talking about. And it's not only about cross-border cooperation, it's about cross-sector cooperation that we've seen. And it goes without saying that, of course, all our reflections and policies will always be incomplete if women, half of the world's population, and youth, also almost half of this region's population and its future, are not included. So it's been truly inspiring to listen to the young leaders yesterday. And I think really on all these accounts, EcoPeace has shown the way. And as my colleagues in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv have stated the previous days, we are so proud to have partnered with you for the past decade and for the time ahead. And I think just to finish on looking forward from our side, through our development strategies in the Middle East, we are continuing to work on this. And I'm happy to announce that we will accelerate this work in the coming years as of next year. Not only are we taking on a more strong commitment on fighting the loss of biodiversity, but we are also looking to establish a climate security hub in Amman to support the entire region, and joining already very talented and dedicated colleagues in Amman, Katrine, and Per Einar in Jerusalem, and many others. So with that, I'm very anxious to get started. We have an exciting evening ahead of us. Thank you so much for everything, and thank you for having me here. I look forward to continued cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Those were wonderful, inspiring words, and we are as proud at EcoPeace to have you as our partners. Representing the generous support of the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, it's my honor to now introduce Ms. Daniela Diegelmann, Head of Regional Program on Energy Security and Climate Change, Middle East and North Africa, REMENA. Daniela.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction, Yana, and thank you for your encouraging and constructive words, Ambassador Rydmark. Excellencies, distinguished speakers, dear directors of EcoPeace Middle East, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. It's my honor to send you a very warm welcome on behalf of Konrad Adenauer Stiftung to this third and last day of the EcoPeace Annual Conference 2020. Again, it is a real pleasure to see you all gathered today in the two in-person meetings in Jordan and Israel, and also in Palestine, and everyone else who's joining us virtually. The first day of the conference, 2 days ago, we already talked about the many opportunities the Jordan Valley can offer as a productive economic center in the region, and we have seen very impressive and very concrete initiatives which go hand in hand with the Jordan Valley Master Plan EcoPeace has elaborated. Yesterday, on the second day of the annual conference, we have seen the fruits of EcoPeace's outstanding work in the past decades with impressive initiatives by the young generation in Jordan, Palestine, and Israel, which has left all of us, I dare to say, at least for myself, I can say that, it has left all of us inspired and in our hearts full of hope that a peaceful and sustainable future in the Middle East is possible. And we trust that the next generation will achieve what we all strive for. As Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, especially with our regional program on energy security and climate change, which I have the honor to head, we have a long-standing cooperation with EcoPeace Middle East. And therefore, we're very pleased to support you again during your annual conference, which, as always, gathers high-level experts and representatives from both the political and public sector and the private sector, from academia and the educational sector and civil society as well. And we are all linked by the same beliefs and an outstanding commitment for a more sustainable development, be it in socio-economic, political, or environmental aspects, in a region that faces a variety of challenges on so many levels, which have already been addressed prior to my intervention. Today, though, we want to shed light on the opportunities the region offers, despite all those many challenges. And our dear cooperation partner EcoPeace will present the results of their report on a Green-Blue Deal for the Middle East, to which we're very much looking forward, as well as to the highly appreciated comments and inputs from our distinguished speakers, who kindly are sharing the time, knowledge, and experience with us today. As we see a growing shortage of resources like water, and in the future as well traditional energy sources, we need to convert to and expand further alternative sources of water and energy supply. In recent years, for example, Germany has made a great effort to achieve a more sustainable supply, especially in the field of renewable energies. In the Middle East, instead, you have an abundance of sun and also wind, which allows you to switch to sustainable supply of energy more easily. There's another scarce resource, though, which is water. And a safe and equitable access to water in the Middle East is and will be even more crucial in the future. Water is a vital resource and therefore has a considerable potential for conflict if not made available in sufficient quantities and sufficient quality. And already today, water scarcity is a challenge in the region, and the consequences of ongoing climate change will only exacerbate this situation. And this leads us to only one conclusion: the importance to find alternative sources. And with its concept of a Green-Blue Deal, EcoPeace proposes these alternatives and shows us where action is needed and how these approaches can be implemented in a well-targeted manner. The Green-Blue Deal approach of EcoPeace Middle East, similar to the Jordan Valley Master Plan, aims to improve the resource situation in the region and create security of supply of energy and water. In particular, through deploying renewable energies and use them for seawater desalination in order to overcome the inequality in the region and to secure the supply, and at the same time create shared interests and promote regional cooperation. And I would like to conclude my short contribution by expressing our gratitude to EcoPeace for their outstanding work in the region in the past decades, and an always very human and pleasant cooperation. And I also would like to thank you for today's gathering, as well as I'd like to thank our distinguished and honorable speakers and all our participants and viewers. We look forward to initiating further important projects together in the future. And again, thank you very much to everyone. Looking forward to the next contributions. Thank you.